Good morning.
Good morning. Our trip is over.
It's not over yet.
Well, we still have time together, but our trip in Europe is nearly complete.
We're just packing up our bags. We're back here in London. We did a really awesome video yesterday. And Ding Dong American from Georgia had it on time lapse. So when I went back to look at it, it's like,
when I pushed stop, I saw time lapse was highlighted. And I said,
it's not time lapse, it's just a regular video. Debbie says, no, you ding dong, you put it on time lapse.
I didn't say ding dong.
Well, you were thinking it. I know you were.
I didn't say that.
You thought it. Because she was being kind. I mean, quiet. We may put it up. I mean, I don't know. What did we talk for about 30 minutes? And I think it's like 90 seconds just for a laugh. Because you don't get enough of those watching us already. So the last we talked with you, it was Saturday morning or Friday when we were in Edinburgh.
A week ago.
And so we showed you our stash. We decided to pack it all up. Well, Debbie kept her La Bien-Aimée, but we packed it all up. She even took her shoes to the post office, and there wasn't enough room in the 3 huge parcels each that we packed to put the shoes, so she had to bring the shoes back. But she kept her La Bien-Aimée. So they should be home tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
He says next Friday. I didn't know if he meant like tomorrow or the following Friday. It doesn't matter. They're all going to get there. We're not going to worry about it. So the things we showed you, we did buy just a little tiny bit more because you never could have enough. I was texting my husband last weekend and I said, well, we're going to go back to the marketplace, but we're not going to buy anything. He texted back, yeah, right.
We did buy some minis to make some scrappy
That's
socks.
what we did on Saturday.
Yes.
And
no,
we met
Friday. We did that on Friday.
What did we do Saturday? Oh, it was Saturday.
Saturday we just went back and visited with
some
people that were
only
really
coming
on Saturday.
See those people. And then we went to the castle. A very warm, balmy trip.
I think it was probably, for those Americans, it was probably...
It had been 25
degrees. 30 degrees.
30 degrees because it was snowing
20
on and
mile
off.
an hour winds.
It was so cold. It reminded me of those days back at Penn State when it was minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit and that was the wind chill. There was something about that dry cold. But this, every time we came out of one of the buildings, and I thought the castle, like in the Robin Hood movie, you have a castle and you have, fires and you have light, candles,
tapestries on the wall,
tapestry, people drinking hot rum. No. Okay, you have several different buildings and you're walking between the buildings and there's like wind tunnels between the buildings. So every time we said we've got to go in this building, not because we were that interested in the war building, but because we knew it was probably going to be warm and that it was
a little bit warmer than outside with the wind.
And then so we'd come out and we'd look at each other and really? Are you kidding me? But then when we came down from the castle, you can't go to Edinburgh and not go to the castle. Oh, tell them what happened. We came around the building.
We came around the corner and this lady looks at us, are you the Periscoping Sisters?
It was Tracy. So we were laughing. And there's a little pet. No, there's a dog cemetery. There's a sign that says dog.
I posted that on
dog
Instagram.
Cemetery, and you look down and it's this little
plot of grass. It was really cool.
Of the royal dogs. So we came down from the castle to the Royal Mile, and we were actually trying to get a cab. I think we were done or something. We were doing something.
Yeah, we needed to get on the cab
and
app,
it was
taxi app.
So the thing about Europe, I think people are so used to just whatever the weather. People are crazy here, walking around in shorts. I mean, not shorts.
The runners, a couple runners we saw were in shorts.
I wouldn't be able to run because I'd be like the little kid with the snow outfit and can't hardly walk because it's so freaking cold. But so I took that one video. It's on Instagram. It was so neat. This young chap was playing the bagpipes in his little kilt. Now, there's that much space between the top of his knee highs and the kilt. However, the wind was blowing
in a swirl.
The kilt. And a couple times he had to put his hands on the kilt to keep the kilt down. So even
he was probably in his early 20s.
He was so cute.
Handsome young guy.
And
we put money in his little case.
We did like a video, and the snow was sort of falling, and the bagpipes. It was true Scottish ambiance.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Okay, so we left there and we got on the coastal train, which made my father very happy because he says you must go. We were thinking about going to the Isle of Skye. We already talked about that, right? They were going to get back late on Wednesday. Yeah. We wouldn't have been able to get back. So we took the coastal train, and before we got on the coastal train, well, first, this little bit of snow. So we wake up Sunday morning in Edinburgh, and there was, what, 3/4 of an inch of snow?
Yeah, maybe an inch.
So are we going to be able to get out of here? Because they kind of freak out about snow like they do in Georgia.
We ran into our new friend that we met at the podcaster lounge at breakfast.
Yes.
Remember?
Wool Jewel.
Mm-hmm.
And she came up to Debbie. She said, I was going to say, what a beautiful sweater. And then I realized,
it
oh
was
my gosh, it's Debbie's sweater. It was really fun. So we got our stuff all organized, got to the train station, and we look at the board, and it says canceled. I said, well, let's let the adventure begin once again. Mm-hmm. So we talked to a man.
We went we went in the queue where they do tickets, and we just told him what train we were on. He said, well, our train was supposed to take off at 12:30, I think.
Right.
And he said, well, we were there at 10 till. He said, there's a 12 o'clock train. You can get on that when it's the same company. Just hop on there. So we said, okay. We went out back to the board.
Already? Then that one said delayed.
So we're okay. But I think eventually
the delayed one got
like
there.
10 minutes after
really
we were supposed to leave. Yeah.
So while we were standing and watching the board, of course, with everybody else whose trains were canceled and trying to figure it out,
it was busy.
There was somebody that walked up to us.
Yeah.
Is it Howell?
Howell, I think.
It's you don't spell it Howell, but he came. He said, "What did he say?"
You're the Periscoping Sisters, aren't you?
We said, "No, we're not." We don't even know who those people are. We got to talking with him. What a really great time. And he's on the same train, and he's in first class, and we actually got on the train without running, unlike this last time. You wait for the train.
He showed us where to go. It was another travel angel.
Car, but you don't know it's a 1/4 mile at the front of the train.
And we found out you don't have to be in the exact seat because the train fills up and people just take whatever seat. So we just sat down.
So he rode with us.
It was nice.
2.5 hours, 2 hours along the coast. He probably thought we were really...
We were true tourists. That's okay, whatever.
Yeah, it was a couple hours.
Yeah. Okay.
It was. And we kept jumping up. We were like, oh, the water. Oh, there's the water. Oh, look at that. Oh, see. And the ladies at the window where we were.
Sit down on the right side of the correct side of the train.
We were always on the wrong side of the train. Is that why they say the wrong side of the train tracks? It's really the wrong side of the train.
But we got some good pictures anyway.
We got some great pictures.
Pictures are here, too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we got off, well, we had to really hurry because
we didn't realize it. And Hell's like, you better go because they don't have the doors open for very long.
Right.
So we were packing up and the train stops.
And he's like, you better go. We're like, well, it's okay. They wait much longer in America.
The US. That's why they're so late probably all the time.
That's probably why. So people are coming on and Debbie and I want to get off and the door closes.
It didn't close.
That was the one that the guy...
the guy was standing there and he's like, you want to get off? We're like,
yes! You need to get off here. So he pulls the window down, opens the thing from the outside. Like, I would have known how to do that. No. We would have been driving with Hal all the way down to London.
Yeah.
So we got out at Durham, met a few of the few of our people there, Anne, Annie, and Carol.
Yeah.
Met us at the bar. Perfect place. Imagine that.
And Carol took us around.
Oh, what a really our
before it got dark.
Our hotel was just literally across the little bridge, and then we were on their little, I don't know what they call that. It's sort of like the Royal Mile. At the very top is the castle, their castle and cathedral.
Mm-hmm. And then there's a walk that comes down, and then it goes down to a marketplace and shops and the square.
Restaurants and...
I took a picture of us with the guy on the horseman, and...
It was really great.
It was perfect location. We couldn't have picked a better location.
And we went out late. One thing that I do like about Europe is that they eat later. I mean, not 10 o'clock. I don't want to wait till 10 o'clock. But they eat more about 7 to 8.
Restaurants are all open late, so we were able to go out.
We went back out. We found this little Italian restaurant.
Oh, that place was awesome. I know.
And we said, do you have a table for two? And they said, do you have a booking? No, we don't have a booking. She says, well, I think I can squeeze you in. That happened a couple times on that trip. We sort of got lucky. She took us downstairs. Really, was it downstairs? I don't remember. Maybe it was just in the back.
No, it was just around in the back, right by the ovens where they were baking the pizzas and everything.
And they were shoveling around and making kebabs. And so it was sort of like the hibachi place, but better.
It was cozy. We had a bottle of wine and yeah, it was good.
Okay, I need to get detoxed when I get home because I am so between the coffee and the wine.
Mm-hmm.
I think
I've drank enough water.
I think I've drank maybe one full bottle of water in the last 2 weeks.
It's terrible.
So that was so much fun, and the next day we had a couple hours before we had to get on the train again, and we went and we bought some really cute artwork that we put on Instagram. So then we got on the train again and did fine. We didn't.
That was only like a 45-minute trip. We found our way easy.
Yes, we didn't have any incidents or adventures on that train. And we went to York. And just like we always do, we pull up the app and Debbie says, well, it's only 0.3 of a mile. Well,
I don't know why it took us that way, though, because coming back, it was a much easier way, just down the main street and across.
And as I said in our time-lapse video yesterday, my shoulder was killing me yesterday, and I think it was because we were fighting with our bags from the train station down to our hotel, which, if you were walking your bags with the wheels in the mall, 0.3 of a mile, my grandmother could walk that, and she's already in heaven. But when you've got unlevel ground and you have curbs and you have cobblestones and you're fighting with it.
Sidewalks are so narrow. We had to walk single file and nobody could hardly come by us because the sidewalks were so narrow.
And it was really nice because, okay, so
if there even was a sidewalk.
Take a mental picture. 2 girls all bundled up in downtown, and not even York, not even inside. I guess it was.
We went inside the walls, but we weren't over the river.
We weren't in the tourist area because we were still trying to find the hotel from. So and a man walks up to me. He says, "Where are you going?" Or what did he say? "Where are you going?" I thought to myself,
"I'm not telling you where we're going."
I said the hotel. I didn't know if he would say, "Walk this way. I'll take you there." No, but I said it's Park Inn. He says, "You're right. You just go down this street and then
to the right."
To the right. It was very sweet. That happened to us again in York. We were trying to find some place, and this guy walked up and he says, "Where are you going?"
Oh, yeah, we were trying to find the shambles. Guy. Yeah.
York, if you don't go, if you come this far and don't go to York, shame on you. That was probably the coolest place. We could have spent a whole week there.
I have never seen so many places to eat or get coffee. You know your app in the maps. You zoom in and all the little dots show up with like the fork and knife or the little coffee cup. You zoom in and the whole thing is covered. You zoom in again and the whole thing is covered. Like every single building
has
restaurant after restaurant. And there was hardly any people in these restaurants. We were thinking, how did they stay in business? But they have enough.
We have to wait till 11 o'clock at night to see people in the building.
I guess maybe we were just too early.
I don't know.
But man, you had your pick and choose there.
We bought some Harry Potter things, sent some pictures to people, made them really jealous. Just saying, Tristan. And
we found the local yarn store because Emma told us where to go.
Yes.
And the store that your friend owns was closed. She was sick.
2 days in a row.
We went by twice.
She was closed because it was at the end of the day.
It was too late. Yeah.
And the second day we walked over there, Pandora's Box, and it said closed due to illness.
So we didn't get to meet
So we just broke in to look at it anyway.
No, we peeked in the windows and we looked at all their stuff. But we found the local yarn store, which was Knit and Stitch, I think it was called.
And the first night we went on a ghost walking tour. It
was cool.
We met down at a pub right down by the river, and it was dark. Well, it started at 8:15, so we had to have a drink before we went. And this man in a long black coat and a cane. There was probably 15 or 16 of us.
There was a crowd.
It's a Sunday night. It was Sunday night, right? No, Monday night. Monday night.
It was the first night we got there? It was the first
No, Monday
night.
we were in Durham. Sunday we were in Durham. Monday night. But it was probably an hour, a little over an hour.
Yeah.
And you walked us all along the cobblestones, and it was sort of misty.
That's when we got all those night shots that we posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
Was during that walk. It was really
And we had
cool.
already gone in the pub earlier in the day. Did I tell you we did some drinking? Okay, so we already went in the pub earlier in the day. We didn't realize it was the
Golden Fleece.
Golden Fleece. It was the most haunted pub in York, right?
Yeah.
That from what they said.
Yeah. I guess there was a Canadian that jumped out the second story window and died.
That's what it was. A Canadian? Oh, a
Yeah,
Canadian.
it was Canadian.
So
he
we
told
didn't
us all
see
kinds
any
of stories.
ghosts. We took some, and he was just fabulous.
Amy got this picture down this roadway with this church or building behind it, and it looked perfectly normal when we were looking at it. And the picture, it turned out like there was this green light shining on it. So maybe that was the ghost. What's your phone?
Okay, so the other thing, my husband did get he got the plan so I could call and text every day. But unless I'm hooked to the internet at the hotel, I can't post, and that's really been a pain in my butt. But, however, let me show you the picture.
It was cool.
We have so many pictures. Oh, look what else we saw.
9 3/4.
Platform 9 3/4. And Debbie got the picture just in the nick of time.
crowd
There was
of
a whole
people.
line, and for $12.50, you can get your picture taken with it. That's okay.
They dress
We didn't
you
do
up
that.
with a scarf,
The different.
and the guy kind of pulls a scarf up, and you're supposed to kind of like you're running.
Look at that.
Isn't that cool? I think you must have had a filter on your phone of some kind.
Why did nothing else come out? This light in the corner here, maybe. Do you see the sky?
That was weird.
It was. Now that place really did have a purple light. We had so much fun. And then we went to a place the next day we did the thing called the Dungeons. And they said about 10 actors, they take you in. It's sort of like a walking haunted house that had a story. But they weren't there to scare you. A couple times we did scream though. But
we were surprised.
I don't think we were supposed to scream, but we did anyway. But they take you around in groups and they talk about how it was way back when.
And the Vikings were coming in and invading.
And how we were the bad guys and what would happen. They showed us the torture chamber and they pretended if you went to jail, you would really, really neat stuff.
Yeah.
That
was a lot of
fun.
history.
Type
In it, like a
things.
reenactment, little story reenactment kind of things. And they involved people from the group and it was fun.
We have only opened our umbrella one time.
And it wasn't even really raining. It was
And
like
that
misting.
was the second morning we were in York. We walked to breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had to put it up, and we haven't used it again.
And we came back to London, and it was beautifully sunny yesterday. And even today, there's blue sky.
And Rhea and Allison met us yesterday afternoon, and we got our history lesson because Allison knows all that. And Rhea's like, I've lived here for a long time, and I didn't know these things. But we learned all kinds of things. We started at a pub again. Yes, a pub. And then we ended up in Prezzo's. It's sort of like a pizza chain.
place.
We had pizza, and we had more wine, and we had dessert. And we had coffee. And I'm sure we've gained about 10 pounds in the last 2 weeks. But we did buy a couple we bought a lot of souvenirs. And we're now trying to organize our suitcase before we leave to try to figure out how we're going to get it all home. But let's show them what we've got at the little yarn store in
York. Okay. We bought some fabric.
Yeah, they had fabric there.
That's why it's called Knit and Stitch, because isn't it cute?
So we both bought, maybe make a bag to commemorate our
a
trip.
couple. I think I could get a couple bags and maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll make a big drawstring bag. And then my little contrast color, I got this little, Amy got a white and pink ticking kind of.
Little stripe.
Yeah. Cute.
So that was fun. And we also bought some yarn.
We got King Cole Zigzag 4-ply, suitable for socks. I got the pink and green. Amy got the purple and red and green. Mine kind of matches my bag.
Mine doesn't.
That's okay.
So I started it last night because I finally got my sock tube off the...
I'm going to show the other thing we found in York.
What other thing?
The thing that I'm holding on my lap.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm doing some twisted rib with cream, and then I'll go back to the...
Let me see that. Is that the outside?
That's the inside.
Oh.
Debbie's
I was
always
like,
finding
cool,
a way to
that's kinda-
figure out what's wrong
I
with
said-
my sock. She's like, oh, that's...
What
What is wrong with that sock?
No, I was going to say that looks cool. How did you do that?
Okay, I did it very easily. If you look at the inside, it looks like that. But that's the right side. Right, Debbie? That's
I
the right
guess.
side.
I was asking because I didn't know.
That's
You're always coming up with cool little things.
Because I finished my Off With Her Heads.
Is that the name of the color?
Yeah, from Quarry Fiber. So I'll just need to cut in half for the toes and pop the heels in. I wanted to get these off because I wanted to get my other ones on because that's what I'm going to be doing on the plane today. Is doing sock knitting.
And I finished my sock with Ellen's beautiful colorway. This is Danny's cereal sock pattern.
With not Ellen, Emma.
Emma. Did I say Ellen? Emma, sorry.
Sarin.
Sarin Yarns. She's gonna have
Cereal
an
sock.
She's gonna have an Etsy store pretty soon. So that's Cyril, and I used my Rita colorway. That's what I'm gonna use for my Rita socks. That's Berimbula Circumstance. That's the same color I used for my hat and mittens with the yeah. So that's gonna be my Rita socks, and I started those.
Those hat
You're gonna have one
mittens
of
have
each.
been a life
Saver.
saver. If you have seen any of the posts in the last week and a half, we have had them on because it was freezing.
Yeah, I love that.
And even the night of St. Patty's night, when we met Julie, Suffolk Socks, and Emma to go eat, it was snowing, blizzardy like, and then it would not stick. It was cold. People were sitting outside. When you think of Europe, you think of these outside cafes with the chairs, and people sit outside and eat. People were sitting. We saw a couple people in that weather, bundled up with a beer, sitting outside. They must have already
Even
been
last
gone.
night it was cold, and we thought it was chilly, but London standards, it was like a spring night.
It was like-
there were all these people standing outside this pub with their long black jackets on. They had just gotten off work, and
Oh,
they
man.
stop by the pub, and they stand outside and have a beer.
And we were
then they head
talking
home.
about that, how that's just normal culture. But a normal culture for us, people get done work, they get in their car and they drive home. Unless they make a pit stop somewhere else. Here, they get off work, they walk to the train station. Oh, wait, before we get on the train, let's have a drink.
Yeah.
Then they get on the train and then they go home. So it was really interesting. Even Debbie said, what are all these people is there a convention or is there...
What is with all these people? They said,
And-
yeah, they just got off work.
And
They're having a
Allison's
drink
like
before
us
they
after
go home.
work. People do that here. Sell a lot of beer and a lot of wine. We did find, just like our beautiful wool tote bag that we found at Rhinebeck, we found something. Remember?
Rhinebeck.
I mean,
EYF?
okay, I'm a little tired. And we're not even home yet. We're not even jet lagged. At EYF. And then our beautiful artwork we got in Durham. We found something that's probably going to be one of our treasured gifts.
From York.
Souvenir from York. And we both bought this. The leather is a little bit different colored. Mine's already packed away. Look at that. And we got a picture of one of these bikes at the Country House Retreat. And we thought it would be perfect. And we both got the same one. Debbie's is a little more orange. Mine's a little more red.
Yours is more purpley. Mine's more of like a, like a true ox blood.
There was a store that was all journals. I
And
walked
paper.
in and I said,
Origami
this is going to be the
paper.
death of us.
So you take this off, and it has all this
Isn't that
like
beautiful?
handmade book. Look
Maybe
at
I'll
the
write a
binding.
journal. Maybe I'll write a novel like Harry Potter in that book.
I was thinking we should use it as our next just record of our sister trips together. It would be kind of cool. The date, where we went, a couple of the things that we
We
did.
got a lot of trips to do to fill that up.
Well, we got a lot of life to live still.
Okay. You're right.
So, ooh, I'm gonna see.
So we had so much fun last night. We laughed and laughed and
we
laughed.
did.
Rhea and Allison.
Thank you guys so much for taking a time out of your weeknight evening after work before you have to go to work today and spent several hours with us. I think we got together about 4:30, 5 o'clock, and we didn't leave the restaurant
back
until
10:30,
10:30.
11. We wanted to close it down.
Saying goodbye in the subway was just like,
I know.
Why have to go this way? Why have to
Allison
go this
went that way,
way?
and Rhea says, "Well, I'm going to go down with you because I got to do." And as soon as we get down at the bottom,
the train is there.
Me and Debbie's train. She's like,
"That's your train."
We're like, wait, but I don't want to go. Bye. But we got off the train and we walked back to the hotel. Not pulling luggage last night. Thankfully,
Yeah.
It's so much easier moving around the city when you don't have a big suitcase to pull. So we're gonna bug out of here. Our flight leaves about 2:00.
We get into Atlanta about 8:00 p.m. So we travel with the sun, pretty much, with a little bit of a time change.
It'll be 8:00 their time.
8:00 their time.
So it'll be midnight UK time.
And then we spend the night in the hotel, and then the next morning, Friday morning, I get on the flight back to San Diego.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for visiting with us and following our trip. We've had so many nice comments on the YouTube channel and on our Instagram posts that everybody really enjoyed
traveling with us and without pulling the luggage.
And we've been thinking of all of you and trying to document everything and let you guys know how things are going, and we've really had a good time.
You won't hear from us for a couple weeks. Debbie, in less than 24 hours, gets on a cruise ship Saturday morning.
We leave Saturday morning to drive up to Long Beach, and then right about 1 or 2 o'clock we get on the boat.
You get on Saturday.
Yeah, I get in Friday.
So by the time
at like
you
noon,
see us
and I
again,
leave at
Debbie
9.
will be nice and tan. I will be nice and pasty as usual. And we will have had all of our yarn delivered.
Yes.
Crossing our fingers.
And hopefully my time will be all changed back to a West Coast time so I can go back to work and not be jet lagged, which will be very nice.
So maybe a couple weeks before you see us. But we wanted to get up one last little video before we head back to
reality.
We had such a wonderful time, and all the people we met, and
so many wonderful, nice people, and people that we didn't expect to meet that were sent to us. And
shame on anybody that was there
didn't come up and say hello.
Okay, this is a British type way.
I know. That's
I've
what
only
Allison
had my butt pinched maybe 3 times, truly 4 times,
Mm-hmm.
and most of those times was after somebody asked if they could. That defeats the purpose. Now I'll tell you, there was one person. I'll let you guess. There was one person that screamed Debbie and pinched my butt at the same time, and it was really loud. She almost blew my eardrum. Can you take a guess? Everybody knows her. Christy Glass. But she is not one. She's not one of y'all. She is one of us, New Yorker. So I expect that from her. But people were so proper, and there's a couple we heard later on. They saw us there. They didn't want to come up and say hello.
Like, shame on you.
You know better. You should have.
Yeah.
So we're going to get to scooting. So we'll see you in a couple weeks. And I hope you have a good time in the sun at the pool while I'm at work. My patients have missed me. I can't take more than 2 weeks. The world cannot keep turning.
Oh, yes, of course.
Without me torturing my patients. They've missed me.
Okay, have fun.
Bye, guys.
Bye. If you can't be kind,
be quiet.
happy knitting.